It all tastes like chicken.
What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. Mike Cotton, thanks for watching. So here's what we got. You got the Mirada in the background, you got the van. You ever heard of time crunches? That's where I'm about ready to be at. In 3 weeks, this has got to be ready to go for Power Tour. In 7 weeks, this has got to be ready to go to Good Guys in Des Moines. So the only way this is going to happen is I'm not trying to split the content up. I'm just going to show you daily by daily what's going to have to happen. I do need to focus on this more, but before Power Tour hits in 3 weeks, I need to have this one running and driving. Yeah, for this one, we got some stuff that we need to take care of. It's got a really bad vibration at 70 mile an hour, which I've already taken the drive shaft out and took it to the drive shaft shop so they can actually balance it out and check it out like that. I want to take the front tires off and get them rebalanced. Got a little oil leak I need to fix on it, but there's so many little different things that accumulate, or whatever you want to use that word, to make this dependable to go do Power Tour. About Power Tour, if you don't know, is basically a deal that Hot Rod Magazine puts on that you go city to city to city to city. So it's like basically a 3-hour drive each time. 3,500 to 5,000 of your closest car friends is all I can say is going to be there. It's an epic event. Newburn's going, I'm going, Jeff Thisted will be there. There's going to be a bunch of people that you probably have seen on YouTube will be there. So if you want to go out and take a look at everything, go ahead. But when we did the West Coast Power Tour, Rob Johnson, Tony Netzel, and Dave Hollis and I all took our Pro Streeters on it. And it was a pretty epic ride. But there were certain things that went wrong. And this car, we built it on the show, and there were certain things that we did that we had to fix, and that's what I'm doing now, is to continue the fixing, because I don't want to break down in this thing. I mean, I don't have, as big as this car is, I don't have any trunk space, so I got to work on the fuel system itself. I want to make sure all the suspension is taken care of on the bottom. I want to make sure I have no vibration. I want to put a radio in this thing. I'm going to enjoy this, but again, at the same time, I got to work on that. So let's start looking at what we got to do here, and we'll go from there. When we left off last, Larabelle actually climbed underneath this vehicle and made me a framework for a skid plate. Now, you're probably like, why do you need a skid plate? The way this car is designed, when we put the 7-quart oil pan on, it hung down that far past this cross member. So the lowest part was this oil pan, which means I had to raise the vehicle up, and if you look at this episode, it's up higher than it is now. And what I ended up doing is coming home and raising the engine up 2 inches, which I thought would be enough, but about this much of the oil pan sits below this cross member. And when we was at the coin, there's a high center in the road, and we came and you could hear, and I was like, I hope it didn't take it off too bad. When we got back and we jacked this thing up, yeah, it literally scraped the bottom of the pan, and I'm over it. So to build a skid plate, we just took some angle, built it around, and now I got to build supports that go up and then plate it. This way, that's the lowest point of the car. If I hit anything that'll do it, it'll just crown on that instead of hitting the oil pan. So I need to finish up getting down there. I got to get the measurements, get the plates and all that done, and then get that all welded in. So that's first. All right, the plate is pretty much exactly the way I want it to fit underneath there. It's made out of 1/4-inch steel. You see these bends right here? I'm gonna give you a little tech tip. If you're trying to bend 1/4-inch plate or any kind of metal and you don't have a brake, if you got a cutoff tool, you got it made. So what I always do is I'll scribe a line and then take my cutoff wheel and take material out. That way it opens a V, and all I have to do is bend it to the angle or whatever I need to do. Does it work great? Absolutely, but you want to build strength back into it. So I'm going to go back in and weld all these seams up that I've cut. Then it's going to be done. Put it underneath the bottom of this. No more skiddy skid. Let that plate cool down. And while we're doing that, I'm going to go and answer a question that a lot of you have asked about the power steering on this. And I haven't really given you the info on it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. This pump that you see right here is off of a 2004 to 2013 Volvo S40. It does fit other ones too, but this is where I got it from, was an S40. I started looking and trying to figure out what kind of power steering pump I can find, because I wasn't going to do the electrical ones that you could put in the column, because that's a lot of work. I didn't have the time and I didn't want to do all that. So I found this pump. Drifter guys were doing it, and I seen guys that were putting it in their trunk. So I had to go down that rabbit hole, found out that this pump right here puts out 1,000 PSI. Factory's usually about 1,200 PSI at max. So it's going to work out fine, I'm thinking. Well, how do you hook it up is even easier. You got a high side and a low side to every pump that goes into your gearbox. The high side on this will have an AN fitting that you need to take a line to your gearbox, but you have to use a high pressure line like PTFE. That's basically a line, a braided line with like a plastic in it that you've seen. You're like, what is this? It's a high pressure line. A lot of EFI units are using it. You can use it simply on this pressure unit and not have to worry about it. Now your low side is nothing but just a rubber line that's going to go from the box back to the reservoir. You ain't going to worry about it. The wiring on it is a 3-plug unit that goes in. I bought mine off of eBay. I bought this pump off of eBay. I buy the stuff online because usually they've run it before, so it kind of works. Some of them give you the bracket that goes with it, but the plug itself I got off of eBay, and it has 3 wires on it. You have your hot, your negative, and your trigger, okay? So you gotta have constant hot to it, so make sure you run it to a breaker. Run your negative to wherever you're going to ground it's going to be, but then your trigger, I run mine to a relay that I found on Amazon that has a fuse in it. So if anything happens first, that fuse pops before the relay pops. But I also can disengage this pump by unplugging this fuse. So it's not a ground trigger, it is a hot trigger. So when you hit your hit as far as your ignition, it will then hit that trigger right there. It's great. I don't have a problem with this thing at all. I've driven it quite a bit, and I love the idea that I don't have to have this massive dog running. You know, like picture you're sitting in your garage and you got this vehicle that don't run, but you're tired of pushing it around because the power steering don't work. If you put this pump on it, you hit the key, you can push it around and turn the keys and load on a trailer and do whatever you want to do, and it doesn't have a problem. Because it don't know, it just needs power. So I hope that answers your questions on that. So go ahead and take a look. If you're looking for power steering, it's the best way to go. Oh, the plate's done. Now I'm gonna get in here and weld this thing up. Got to get it cleaned, welded. After I get it welded, I'm gonna go ahead and take the tires off. And then tomorrow morning we'll take the tires to go balance and get the drive shaft tomorrow. And we'll get this thing back on the ground tomorrow, because then we need to start working on the van. Oh. Oh, beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I've already taken the tires to go get balanced. They're fine. Heading to St. Louis right now to go get the drive shaft. There were some little issues on it that they fixed. So I'm hoping with the combination of the tires and the drive shaft that the vibration at 70 mile an hour is gone, because it shakes crazy and I hate it. You know, in Power Tour we usually run 70 mile an hour, so hopefully that's fixed. It is literally a beautiful day out here. Do you get out and enjoy them days? Because I had to today. It's freaking nice. So we'll head to St. Louis and get that drive shaft and go from there. All right, we're back. Drive shafts here. Yep, front wheels are back on the car. They've been balanced. Okay, to make this work, I think I'm gonna have to spend a day on each vehicle, because I can't work. My mind is going scatterbrain right now because I'm not used to building 2 cars for myself at one time. This is ridiculous. So Yesterday we spent a bunch of time working on this. The skid plate took more time than I thought. And now we really need to be focused on this. Now, again, the game plan on this is just to get the engine in and get it running before power tour for this one. Exactly. But the cool thing is, for every setback, there is some sort of silver lining. The engine wasn't great. I couldn't trust it, so I got a new engine to go in it. Pulled the engine out, and what that's going to allow me to do is, one thing that when I put the engine in and did this front end, I set it at car height, and I'll explain that when I'm in the vehicle to show you a little bit more. The hole's open, that tells us what the engine's out, which is great. But you also get to see, for the first time, the front suspension. Now, you guys have asked about it, so I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans. This is a 1984 Corvette front suspension. Literally, everything is 84 Corvette. I have frame rails that I got from Josh, my buddy. Everything is made into here so it works. With it being this way, I have independent front suspension. I have disc brakes. I have everything that I need to make this ride like a new vehicle. The track width factory was 60. Track width is your hub to hub, your measurement, so it's 60. Then 84, it was 59.6. So this is a little bit narrower, but it's going to work out great. This came, as far as the Corvette, had a monoleaf in it. That's how it worked to keep its suspension to work, and I got rid of all that. And as you see right there, that is a hydroshock. When you start talking about suspension, and a lot of us know what is going on with it, right? Like, it's not a rocket science. I'm happy that other companies have made it more advanced than from when I started it back in the day. But you have adjustable suspensions, which are your coilovers, hydraulics, air ride. And then you have your static, which is your spring, spindles, and you leave it alone. And I've had every vehicle like that all day. I loved hydraulics when they came out. It was amazing that we could get them down that low, but they rode horrible. When Air Ride came out, I remember it was like sitting there watching it and going, oh my God, this is amazing. But the problem was you had to air it up too much to get it up a certain height. And then now you got 110 pounds of air or 150 pounds of air in a bag, so it rode rough. And I didn't want that. I wanted it low and I had a good cushion ride. Then you start going over to coilovers, and that's the ticket, to be honest. But there's the adjustability is you got to jack it up and you got to sit there and turn the collars down to get it lower. Well, I don't want to do all that. Enter Hydroshocks. Mittler Brothers who makes these. I got these from Stu Fab. They basically, you got a hydraulic ram with a coil spring on it. Exactly. You still have your adjustability, but your ride is in the coil spring. So this thing, I can drive it down the road 2 inches off the ground or 6 inches off the ground, and you know what? It still rides the same. I put it on my 60. Newbern and I built the 60. It hasn't come out yet, but my 1960 Biscayne has this on it, and it is a game changer. I'm talking a game changer. We made it a road race car, and oh my, there was, for a 60 Biscayne, there was no body roll at all. It was pretty freaking epic. I can't wait to drive this van. I'm going to have to probably play a little bit with the spring rates on it, because now I'm changing an aluminum engine over to a steel engine. There's a lot of different variables that are going to happen, but it's going to work out good. Steering on these, your steering wheel's all the way in the front of your van, even on the Econoline, so it's like so far forward. You have to figure out a way to make it work. A lot of times people go and they look at this thing called a rear steer, which is basically a V-drive that'll come out of your steering column and then go back to your rack and pinion. Well, what I did here was I took the factory Corvette rack and pinion and spun it forward, so that way the steering is actually coming out of the front of it. Now, it's still the same, but I was trying to find something cheaper than that rear steer, which is like $400 or $500, and I realized in 1991 Nissan Pathfinders had them in them. So it's a little V-drive that's going to come in and come out. I set that up, and this thing turns perfectly fine. Now, there's certain things that I need to adjust on this front end, like the Hydroshock, because the spring compresses. When I set this up, I didn't have any weight on it, so I need to actually drop this mount down to get the full compression. So when I go to hit the button, it immediately lifts. Second thing, when I set this up, this is still car setup. This is still all Corvette setup. I ended up moving the engine back because that's where it would fit in the vehicle instead of being so far forward. So I set that up and it was great. But when I laid this thing out, the oil pan literally was like a ½ inch from the ground. Is that clearance? Yeah. Is it my clearance I want? No. Because you have crowns. So if I lay this thing out and the pan's laying on there because it's the lowest point, I hate it. Now driving I would have no problem because it's got plenty of clearance. So I'm going to raise the engine up 2 inches. That'll get me enough clearance and I can raise the transmission up 2 inches. This hole is saving my life right now. Saving me like you would not believe, because I'm old. And I've already finished this side of the body drop. Now I need to finish this side. So I can actually just bend over right here and tiggy and weld the rest of this. And I don't have to be on my knees hating life. Then I can drop the engine in after I get it mounted up 2 inches. So that's basically this whole front end. Is it going to work great? It should. It should. Like, I mean, I didn't create rocket science here. This is just all factory stuff that we use. You don't have to run and go buy chassis. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate a chassis guy, you know, like when you're looking at, like, to me, roaster shop chassis are way up here. I can't afford a roaster shop chassis. And they work great. They work great. Even Acme chassis or like Finch's Predator Apex chassis, those are amazing. Those are amazing. Don't get me wrong, but I can't afford that. I'm not going to lie and say I need one. No, because I can build one. And I don't like this stuff here. You know what the best part is? If something messes up on it, I can go to the factory. I can go to any parts store and get what I need. As I'm driving down the road, all these parts are sitting there at the shelf. So I hope you understand what this is now. So you guys, you could try it. Go for it. It ain't hard. Don't be afraid to cut up metal. Don't be afraid. So I'm going to go ahead. Done told you this stuff, so I guess we need to start working on the engine. Yeah. Now you see what we got going on in here. But to make this work, this brand new engine has to have stuff added to it. Even though it's a brand new crate LSX 376B15, they don't come with oil pans. They don't come with oil pan pickups. They don't come with front drives. You know, they don't come with your intake coils and stuff like that. But they come complete. They've been ran. They got a warranty on them. And they are just built perfect. Like, you're talking about a brand new everything that's in here. So we're going to go through this whole build by even like priming the oil pump. I don't want nothing to happen again. I am so over engines messing up on me, it's sick. So I ended up taking, and I'm running an F-body pan, which a lot of guys run because it's a rear sump pan. I'm waiting on some parts to come in as far as like the bolts for the pan and stuff, but I can put the pickup on. I want to show you this piece that I got that is for the pickup itself. It's like a girdle. I found that on Amazon. I need to go ahead and pull the front balancer off so I can put the new balancer on my ATI balancer, because everything I had in the van worked before, so I have to have the right spacing. So I need to put all that stuff on, and I need to do the water pump, and hopefully other parts will start showing up. So let's get on this. Sometimes you find some really cool stuff on Amazon. As I'm getting ready to put on the oil pump pickup, there's something that I found that I really, really dig. Here's the deal. Usually when you're putting your oil pump pickup on an LS, it's like a 1-bolt deal. But there's another hole next to it that kind of can be used. And this is what I found. Where'd it go? Right there. This is an LS oil pump girdle. So what happens is it'll actually distribute the force to tighten all the way around that. Sometimes when you're putting the 1-bolt on there, it doesn't lay right. And you can get any air. You don't want any air to go in between that O-ring and that block any which way. Otherwise, you get no oil pressure. None. Trust me, I know. I haven't. The other engine ain't got none, but it wasn't the oil ring. So I'm going to put that on there. It's pretty cool. Take a look and see if you ever need something like that. It's a good insurance on there, and go from there. Pickup's on. There's the gasket. And I just found out something. So this pan here is off of a 98 Camaro. I like these pans. They work really good, but they're not working for me. It's like, so when I put it on, I just realized that it hits in the front. And the baffle that's in it, it's hitting that. And I can't go any lower because the crank is literally right there. So I need to get a new pan. Nickel and dime, baby, nickel and dime. So we're kind of stuck on that end there. I got to keep working forward. I need to get the balancer off, and at least if I can get the balancer off today and get the water pump set up and on, I'd feel it's a decent day. I got to just keep moving. That's all I can do. And ordering. Amazon, if you hear me, come on. I mean, I'm buying stuff like crazy from every parts. Just, I'm going broke. So, yeah. Go ahead and get the balancer off at least. Start working on that water pump. And then I'm going to have to call it because my lawnmower's broke. I still got to fix my lawnmower. My yard's looking like the Serengeti. So, let me get that off. This is a bummer. I switched out the stock lower balancer pulley because these are all the pulleys in it for an ATI one that I had. It's a single groove one for like a 98-ish Camaro. This way all my brackets will line up. Now I need to work on the water pump, and there's something I want to show you on a water pump, especially LS, that some might know and some might not. Let's go take a look. Now, this is just a standard LS water pump. You have two inlet and outlets right here for heater core. If you run one of these bypasses, this is a no-no. Okay, let me explain why. As one port comes in, this is your water neck. It lets cold air, cold water in from your radiator. Okay, thermostat opens up, cooler water goes through here. This is a port that's fed in the water pump that comes out the back side of this water pump, which is hot water. So the problem is if you do this, all you're doing is circulating hot water. Why? Like, you want to make it cooler. So what we end up doing is you can take these out by doing a little twisty twist and tap them out. And then all you need to do is get yourself a pipe tap. It's a 1/2-inch pipe tap. NPT is totally different. So you need bigger pipe taps. Take that in there, tap this end, and then you can put a pipe plug in there. What I'll do eventually is when I go to put a heater in it, which I'm going to, I can actually just take these loose and run it to my heater core. So as I'm getting ready to do all this stuff, I'm gonna kind of like turn this off and yeah, and just keep working. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned a lot on this episode. I'm trying. There's so many different ways. Everybody, like, some people want to see work, some people don't want to see work, some people want to see this, some people want to see that, and I'm just going to do what I got to do. I appreciate you watching more than you even know. You know, every day it's a different struggle, and I'm trying to let you guys see the struggle I got, especially trying to get 2 vehicles done in 7 weeks. Well, 1 in 3 and 1 in 7. So stay tuned, because this is going to be an epic ride. We're going to try to figure all this stuff out, and I'm going to get to tapping. So thanks for watching. If you could, do me a favor, click like and subscribe if you haven't yet. I appreciate you. See you later.